Breakfast had been a disappointment. Nathan was certain he had seen several very pretty young women scurrying around cleaning the dining room when they'd checked in last night. But this morning, there was one middle-aged Hispanic man and a woman who had probably been a truck stop hooker in a past life serving the waffles and omelets. He had nothing but Charity to look at, and he was tired of looking at her. He did not see a single other guest either. "I'm going to the lake," Nathan announced as he tossed his napkin down on the table. If he was not going to have anything worth looking at, he might as well be getting the late summer sunburn while doing it. He stomped back to their room, getting even more annoyed when he saw the world's homeliest housekeeper stacking clean white sheets and towels on her cart. What was wrong with this place? At home, he was practically swimming in beautiful women. But here, the inbreeding had definitely ruined the gene pool. He vowed to never leave the city again. He quickly changed into shorts and a tank top, trading his canvas deck shoes for flip-flops. His mirrored sunglasses perched on top of his head, he frantically dug through his bag. Where were his magazines? Surely he had not left them at home. If Charity had found them and thrown them out, he was going to be pissed. Some of those were really hard to get. He had to special order them from Germany. Angrily, he snatched one of Charity's stupid paperbacks off the bed. She brought half a dozen at least. He knew because he had to carry her suitcase. Nathan was still fuming when he dragged the flimsy little deck chair to a position that suited him. He wanted to be able to see if anyone interesting came or went from the hotel without looking like he was doing just that. He didn't have to wait long. A young woman came skipping down the path to the lake like she didn't have a care in the world. The girl could not have been more than 20, but that had never stopped him before. Nathan looked over the top of his sunglasses for a better look. Yes, this view was much nicer than the one promised in the brochure. She was not quite as pretty as Abby at work, but Abby was getting old, almost 25, and it was time to give her back to her husband. Of course, this was the first other guest he had seen since he and his girlfriend had arrived this morning. He was admiring her long legs and bold choice in skimpy bikinis when he heard Charity behind him. He had no idea when she had appeared. "See, it's great out here," she chirped, just like she did no matter what she was talking about. She would sound just as happy to be talking about a hurricane. She plopped herself down into a lounge chair, her plump figure threatening to collapse the thing entirely. "It certainly is." Nathan kept his voice neutral, but gave her a smile with just enough warmth to make her blush. It was too easy. He looked at the girl again. She was making her way toward the rickety boathouse. "Later, we can go out on one of the boats or hike to the outdoor amphitheater. I hear they put on plays in the spring. It's supposed to be really nice," Charity rattled on, oblivious to her husband's wandering eye. Luckily, he did not plan to sit here and listen to Charity all day. "Did you say boats?" "Yes, dear." The chubby young woman was getting herself settled into her chair and was busy rubbing sunscreen over her freckled shoulders. "The brochure said that they had these adorable little paddle boats that you can take out on the lake and—" Nathan didn't hear if she kept talking. He popped up out of his chair like a jack-in-the-box and started off toward the boathouse. The perfect excuse. "I'll go check it out. I'll be back in a few," he called over his shoulder, not really caring if she heard him or not. The pretty young thing had just slipped from sight behind the weather-beaten little shack on the edge of the lake. Nathan felt his spirits lift. Finally, something good was happening here. He opened the door, hearing the hinges creak. Inside it was dark. He couldn't see anything, much less the girl. "Hello?" he called out. "Hey, I'll see if I can't find the lights." There was no answer, only the soft lapping of the waves and the smell of dead fish and algae. The high little windows did almost nothing to actually illuminate the room. He slipped off his sunglasses and approached the window to see if he could get more light, setting the glasses down on the filthy sill. The glass was so old it was heavier at the bottom than the top, and had obviously not been opened in a long time. He pulled and struggled with the ancient frame until he realized that it wasn't just the window was dirty, it was nearly dark outside. The outside door banged shut. A scraping sound behind him told him that he was not alone after all. He turned, expecting to see the young woman he had followed in here. Instead, he saw the outlines of more than half a dozen very large dogs. The largest one barked once. I let myself just slide down the rough wooden wall into the floor. I wrapped my head in my arms and tried not to cry. I was tired, hungry, and scared. There was nothing else I could do. I couldn't really wrap my head around everything that had happened tonight. The vines, the road, the creepy check-in paperwork, those paled in comparison to the uncontrollable visions. There had been Jared, with all his anger barely controlled under the thin veneer of appearing civilized. Jennifer and her intense envy of everyone around her. She had not tried to hide that. The greedy little Donna, always wanting more. The gluttonous children, led to their doom like Hansel and Gretel. Sandy and Paul had never stood a chance. Proud Rebecca and her sense of superiority and importance had met her end alone and unappreciated. Finally, there was Nathan. The man was so consumed by lust, he had not even thought twice about following a stranger into the dark boathouse. What was left? Anger, envy, greed, gluttony, pride, and lust. What did they want with him? Just come out. We'll show you, Dali. A dry voice whispered through the walls. You know the answer already, it assured him. No, I yelled out to the mysterious voice. The wind, picking up outside the shed, had made the boards shiver and shake. Leave me alone. I don't have anything you could want. I'm not like them. But you are. The voice came from everywhere at once. You are one of us. You have been since you decided to come here. I'm not greedy or angry or jealous. I heard the pleading in my voice, and I could do nothing to stop it. I put my hands over my ears, trying to block the sound, but still it came. Do you not know? Can you not think of anything? I heard the door creak open, and I closed my eyes, wrapping my arms tighter around my head. Can you not see? The voices were close, and the room began to feel warmer. I heard the soft sound of clawed feet moving around the room, surrounding me. There is another sin still, it assured me. I'm not lazy, I pleaded unashamedly. I refused to look up. No, but you do not appreciate all that's been given to you. You have given into your despair and lost the joy that living things should have. Hot breath brushed the back of my neck. You are one of us, Dali. Look at me. The order was so powerful I could not resist, and I opened my tear-dampened eyes and looked straight into the red eyes of the largest of the demon dogs. Its long white teeth were inches from my face. Join us, brother. The sun will rise, and we must be away. I tried to stand and back away, but found that my limbs no longer worked the way they should. I looked down. Long black limbs ending in sharp black claws were all I saw. A howl started in the pack, circling higher and higher as the first pink rays of dawn fell on the boathouse.